In this video, I want to talk about getting rid of debt. What is the fastest way of getting rid of debt? And we've talked about debt here before and all the strategies that you can use to pay off debt. But how much debt should you really be aiming to pay off, and how should you really go about it? This may be a question that you ask yourself because maybe you have debt but you're not drowning in debt and you want to save and invest and do other things instead of just paying down that debt. So if you're trying to figure out how much you should pay down on your debts, then I'll be sharing a few steps here in this video, and very simple steps that you can use. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Ian and I post personal finance related videos here on YouTube every day. So if you like the content, give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to the channel and turning on all notifications for this channel. And this way you can get the updates of when I post a new video. And remember, I post a new video here on the channel every single day. Now, if you're wondering why wouldn't anyone want to pay off as much debt as possible, the reason may be because they have good debts. So remember, there are good debts and there are bad debts. Bad debt is when you purchase things that don't bring any value or depreciate. So for instance, purchasing a new car is considered bad debt even if you need a car, because it loses value and you end up paying more than what it's actually worth for it. Now, good debt is when you, for instance, use your credit card and you purchase a heat press and t-shirts and you start a Shopify store that sells print-on-demand t-shirts. It's now good debt because the debt allows you to earn more money. So before I go any further in this video, I want you guys to comment down below and let me know what kind of debts do you have. Do you have only bad debts, or do you have good debts as well? Or maybe you have no debts at all. Comment down below. So let's get into the steps for paying off this debt. So step one is to first figure out what these debts are. So again, we'll go back to listing our debts. We list the debts, what they are, and where they're from. Now, the only thing that you won't count here is your mortgage if you have one, but everything else you should list. Also, be sure to include the interest rate or APR for each debt because you want to know which ones are costing you more. Now, if you don't know what the APR is on your debts, then you can call the loan or credit card companies and find that information out. So the second step here is to list all your expenses, which are your needs. So if you haven't already determined what your needs are as opposed to your wants, then you're going to have to do that now. So everything that you need to survive, you'll add to this list, and you'll also add the costs as well. So rent, utilities, food, transportation, and all that stuff. Now, the third step is to list your income. How much money do you make? If you have a job, then that should be very easy. But if you're self-employed, then you need to figure out how much you make or estimate of how much you make per month. So now we have three things to look at. We have all the debts, highest interest rate to lowest. We have all our needs, and we have our income. We're now going to subtract the needs from the income, and whatever is left will be your disposable income. So if you have $1,000 left after paying all your needs or paying for all your needs, then that's your disposable income. And this is why it's important that you not include any wants, because you want to get this number as accurate as you possibly can. Now, hopefully this is a positive number. If you add all your expenses or needs and they are more than your income, then in that case, these simple steps won't work as you need to increase your income. But hopefully after your expenses, you have disposable income. So the fourth step here now is to pay the debts with the disposable income, but you'll be paying the debt with the highest APR first. Now, this way you save on interest and you get to pay the debts off quickly, and also it costs you less. It doesn't matter what the balance is, so even if the debt with the highest APR is just a few dollars and the one with the lowest APR is thousands, it still makes sense to do it this way because you'll get rid of this one with the highest APR easily and move on to the next one. But if you calculate the interest payments of all your debts and you try to pay them in the order of lowest APR to highest, you'll realize that over the same time frame, you'll pay more in interest than if you were to pay them highest APR to lowest. Now, while you're paying off the debt with the highest APR, you also need to continue making the minimum payments on all your other debts so that the balance doesn't grow and you don't end up with more debt than you expected. So these are 4 simple steps to take to approach your debt and get it paid off as quickly as possible, and also save on interest payments. So the amount that you should spend on your debt is all of your disposable income until you are debt-free. Now, this method makes the most financial sense. So if you want the best way to do it while costing you the least, then this is how you should approach your debts. Now, if you have debts and you are in collections, Let's say you owe $1,000 on a credit card and you weren't paying it and the balance went to $5,000, and now you just can't afford to pay that off because you don't make enough money to do so. In that case, all hope isn't lost. Debts are usually sold to collection agencies. They purchase the debt for a fraction of what it's worth. So they will contact you and they will say, hey, you owe us $5,000, and if you don't pay us in full by Friday, we're going to take you to court for that money. Now, this may sound very intimidating, but in reality, oftentimes they don't actually want to go to court, especially if it's not over a lot of money. So you can call them and give them some sob story of how your life is upside down and you're facing hard times and you can't afford to pay them $5,000, and usually they'll make a deal with you. So for instance, you can offer them half of the amount or maybe less, and they'll either accept it or they'll try to negotiate with you. Now this way you can get that debt down from, let's say, $5,000 to maybe $2,000. Also, they may be very willing to give you more time to pay it off as well. Now, what about good debts, since I mentioned them in the beginning of this video? If you have good debt, should you include it and pay it off as well? And the answer is yes. Still pay all debts in the order of highest APR to lowest, and the reason is this. If you have good debt and you make more money from the debt, then it should be even easier for you to pay it off. Think about it. There is no reason to keep debt if you can pay it off. Now, if you're thinking that you can pay the minimum on the debt and then use the other money or the money that you make from this debt for other investments, then you could. But if your income falls, then you risk losing everything. And if you're concerned about interest payments, you'll pay more in the long run than if you had just paid that debt off. So the main thing is this: if you must use debt to create income, do so. But as soon as you can start paying it off, then you need to. I have 2 other videos on paying down on debt, one covering the debt snowball method and another covering the debt avalanche method. So if you haven't seen those videos as of yet, be sure to check them out, and I'll leave links to those videos near the end of this video. As always, I hope you guys found this video very helpful. It helps you to pay down all your debts faster. And if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as that's the way these videos get recommended to more people here on YouTube. And I'll really appreciate it. And giving this video a thumbs up is completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, don't forget to check out some of my other videos here on this channel on credit cards, banking apps, savings accounts, investments, ways to make money, and much more. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and be sure to turn on all notifications for this channel, as that's the only way you'll be able to get the updates of when I post new videos here. And remember guys, I'll be posting a new video here every single day on YouTube. Be sure to also check out all the links down below in the description. I've left links to free stuff and free cashback offers, so be sure to check all the links down below for all kinds of free stuff. Now, if you aren't investing as of yet, be sure to check out WEBULL or M1 Finance, and I've left a link to both. With WEBULL, after signing up, you'll receive a free stock or 2 free stocks, which can be valued at over $1,000. And if you like the stocks, they're free. You get to keep them. If you don't like them, sell them and keep the cash, or purchase other stocks that you'd prefer to invest in. With M1, you'll get $10 for free to go towards your investments initially. Once again, I hope this video was very helpful. All the best with paying off your debts as quickly as possible and saving money while doing so. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.